How are we? Yeah. I'm gonna say this, let's just get this out of the way. The shirt's too tight. I didn't plan it, I didn't want that. I wore it, I got in the car, and I felt everything. And then I was like, oh my God, I think this shirt's too tight. I was like, it's okay, you got a shirt in the trunk. No shirt in the trunk. So for the taping, you get this. There she is, there's the old girl, there's the old girl. Yeah, yeah, man, this has been nuts. This has been, I don't know, man. I'll just tell you what's going on. I just had 2 kids in 2 years. I had sex 3 times. I don't want to talk about that. It's upsetting, and I'm gonna look at you now. I see these young people here. I'm gonna tell you some shit about kids that is crazy. You love them so much for no reason. I love my kids more than anything. I thought I loved my wife. Fuck that bitch. I love these kids. But they don't deserve it. They're ruining my life. They're ruining it. I'm getting fatter. I'm not sleeping anymore. I'm broke again. Look at me. Look at me! I'm 22 years old. They've destroyed me. And they're in first place. They don't deserve first. My wife deserves first. My wife put the time in. My wife had my back through all the bullshit. She had my back when I started in comedy. And when I started in comedy, things were not going well. All right, things are still not going that well. That's fine. No, things were not going well. There was a time in comedy, I made $7,000 for the year. For the year! Do you know who makes $7,000 a year? People who die in February. That is who makes that kind of money. It was me and a guy with a good month and a drinking problem. But you love them. Oh, I don't even know why. But you do, and it's crazy. And my wife, we don't communicate well. I don't know. She texts me. I never know what she's doing. She texts me shit. She texted me the other day. She goes, hey, just so you know, our son is an 8.5. And I was like, well, first of all, our son is a 10. Okay? What the hell are you talking about? And she's like, he's not a 10. And if you act like he's a 10, it's going to fuck him up. And I was like, no, you're gonna fuck him up by saying he's not a 10. Let's boost his confidence. I'm not a 10, I'm a 6, but I'm funny, and I got you, right? You're a 10, and she goes, I'm not a 10, I'm an 8. I said, I hate this bullshit. Bringing yourself down. You're a 10, say it, I'm a 10. And she's like, I'm not a 10, I'm an 8, and you are an 11 and a half. And I went, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? And she was like, our kid's shoe size. What were you talking about? And I was like, how fuckable our son was. I was kind of mad you didn't want to fuck our son as much as I want to fuck our son. Well, that's a riff I'm never going to do again. That just came out. Glad we taped that, lad. Glad we taped that. Don't edit it. Put it out. All content is content. Let that be. Maybe that's the kind of comic I'll be known as. Maybe that's the fucking image I've been trying to go. That's the branding. That guy wants to fuck his kid. I don't care. I'm leading into this bit. Did you see that Italian guy? The Italian guy, little mozzarella? No, the one who wears tight shirts. It talks about fucking this. I gotta get out of this. I gotta get out. I don't even want to do this. And not because any of you, you're laughing. All of you are laughing, but you are going like this. No. No, please, no. Your eyes are diverted at my shoes, that whole bit. And for you, we'll move on. This is fun. This is fun. I don't know why this is fun. This is great. I'll tell you what's crazy is that the bad gigs are how I make money. I make all of the money that I make is through doing very bad gigs. So I work a lot in like casinos. And let me tell you, it's not good for your life to do comedy in casinos because here, you guys are here for comedy, or at least you've heard of comedy, or like you kind of want to laugh. Like you're here, you're a good crowd, but no one in a casino sees comedy because they like comedy. They go because they're hemorrhaging so much money. They need to stop the bleeding for 1 hour. And you try doing crowd work with those people. You see how fun that is? Like, where are you from? And the guy's like, I don't know what I'm gonna tell my wife. And I'm like, you got kids? And you're like, she's gonna take the kids. They're horrible, horrible gigs to do. So the only way to get through them is I just get really high. I just get super high because they're not gonna laugh anyway, so I'll just have a good time. I'm stoned for the full week I'm there. What's crazy is that in New Jersey, they have a smoking section, so you could smoke weed in the smoking section, which is crazy that you're just walking around getting high and it's not a problem, you know? So I was getting high, and I was sneaking it at first, you know. I was getting high behind this little slot machine, and I turn around, and there's a 72-year-old man in a Trump hat, Trump shirt, Trump pants. Not gonna be honest, you vote for Trump, I don't give a fuck. But pants, that's too much. That's too much. If you like anything so much that you're wearing the pants of that thing, you like that thing too much. I love Spider-Man. I show up on stage, Spider-Man pants. You're like, that is a mentally handicapped person. He is. He's funny, I support him, he drove here, but that man is missing something. So I'm super high. He's yelling at me. But you ever had that move where you're so high, you turn around and then you just realize they've been talking to you the whole time? Like, I turned around, the guy was like, and I was like, hey, and he was like, I don't like weed. And I was like, whoa, how much did you say? I was here. And he's yelling at me, and he's going, I don't want to smell that shit, rah, 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 rah. But I was so high, I went, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, you stop it right now. I even put my finger on his lips. I did the shut up and kiss me. I said, shut up and kiss me. I put my finger on his lips, and I said, we were sold a lie. It's not the big deal they told us it was. It's actually kind of fun. And he was like, that's a gateway drug, right? And I said, stop it! Who are you here with? And he was like, my wife. And I was like, well, where is she? I'm like so intense, right? And he was like, she's in a bed, sleeping. And I said, okay, so you're by yourself, right? She's sleeping, you got a room, so you're safe. What if you were to get a little high with me? Right now, if you like it, you can keep doing it. If you don't, at least you know what you're fighting for. Yeah. And this guy, he looks at me and he just goes, okay. I was like, ah! I was like, this is gonna be unbelievable, right? I gave him my vape pen. He took the biggest hit I've ever seen in my life. He was like, ooh. He just kept going. I'm like, you're still pulling. He's like, Literally, he breathed out and his hat spun off his head. It went, whoa, it just spun around. It just flew right off. So I'm like with this guy, I'm very high, and I got the light for a second and I forgot where I was going with this joke, so we'll edit this out. We're not gonna edit this out. Nothing even matters in my life. He's super high, I'm with him, and I'm like, all right, I gotta be a good Sherpa, right? I can change this guy's life. Marijuana could change this guy's life. So I'm like, all right, man, like, what kind of music do you like? Right, because I'm gonna give him music. You know, you're first with music, that's a big thing, right? So I was like, what kind of music do you like? He goes, Pink Floyd. I was like, wait a minute, you like Pink Floyd, you've never been high? I'm like, brother, hang the fuck on, right? I give him my headphones, and then he just goes, I've never heard Pink Floyd before. I'm like, I know! Marijuana is unbelievable! Then I'm like, all right, I gotta get this guy food, right? So I sneak him into the employee cafeteria, right? And I gave him ice cream, I got pizza, I give him this ice cream, and he licks it, and he looks at me and he goes, is this what it's like being a Democrat? And I was like, yeah, hell yeah, brother, this is exactly what it's like. We just get high and eat ice cream all day. That's why we can't get shit done, all right? But this is what we're doing. We're high, I'm gonna have a high combo with this guy. Maybe I can get in there, change his views. Let's see if I can open him up a little bit, right? So I'm like, hey man, gay marriage, what do you think? You in, you out, what are we doing, right? And he goes, I don't know. You love who you love. You can marry who you want. I don't really care. And I was like, okay, all right. Let's turn the heat up a little bit. And I was like, all right, trans, you in, you out, how we doing? What's your thoughts? Trans, let's go. I'm screaming at him, you know? And he was like, look, man, I don't know, but I gotta be honest, if I was hooking up with a chick and found out she had a dick, I would freak out. And I was like, first of all, you're 72 years old. When is this happening? When is this story taking place? That you're on the mix and you're meeting women and some of them have penises and some don't. This is a crazy situation that you've made up in your head, right? And then he goes, well, what would you do? What would you do? And this motherfucker has the wrong guy, all right? Because I am the Christopher Columbus of sexuality. I don't believe in sexuality. I'm not gay or straight. I just haven't yet met the man I want to fuck. All right, that's where I'm at. A man hasn't stepped up to the challenge. That's where I'm at, right? So he's like, what would you do, right? And I was like, well, let's talk about it for a second, right? Okay, so you're telling me in your scenario, you met a woman who you thought was beautiful enough from head to toe that you would sleep with her, cool enough that you would hang out with her and then also sleep with her, but there was one piece you didn't like. There was one piece. And he was like, yeah, it's a big piece. And I was like, all right, but look at this piece of pizza, right? I love pizza. I hate mushrooms. So you do what I do if I was eating pizza and I found this mushroom. Eat around it. And I swear to God, this guy just goes, huh. And I was like, oh, you fucking nailed it, baby. All right. I gotta do one more because I did too much riffing up front. And I wanted to get I gotta tell this story because I don't know, I'm very excited about it. So I'm doing this club with this old school comedian, right? This guy's been doing comedy since the 80s. This guy's been doing cocaine for 40 years straight, has not stopped. He's the most fucked up human I've ever met, and he's like 70 years old, and I'm like, this fucking guy is wild, right? So show's over, and he looks at me and he goes, hey, you wanna go get pizza and do magic? And I was like, look, man, I don't got money for pizza, but I definitely want to see some fucking magic. And he goes, oh, hang on, I got this. Walks over to a slot machine, puts money in, pulls it, wins $37.50, and just goes, let's go. He didn't even react. I was like, is that the magic? Because that was unbelievable. We walk to this pizza place in the casino, right? And for 40 minutes, it takes 40 minutes for them to make this pizza. For 40 minutes, he is doing up-close magic to me. Not getting a single trick right. Every single trick. Every single trick. He was like, and that's why the king loves his queen. And I was like, that's a 3, that's a 2, man. What are we doing, brother? And he was like, oh, but the queen always loves her diamonds. And I'm like, that's an empty, you just show me your fat belly, brother. Okay? So then he just passes out. We eat the pizza, he's passed out at the table, I'm by myself. I'm like, this is crazy, right? Waiter comes with the check, puts the check down, I open the check is for $37.50. The exact amount of money he won on that magic slot machine, and he, out of a coma, just goes, ta-da! I was like, that is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my life. Was the whole thing a trick? Am I a trick? I'm Greg Stone. You guys were so much fun. Thank you. Good night.